What's going on, Saints fans? It's Mitchell Renz from Chat Sports, and coming up here on today's show, I'm going to be breaking down the latest news and rumors around Alvin Kamara, and then on top of that, if the star running back is in fact suspended, I'm going to tell you some free agent running backs that New Orleans can go out and sign. Now, I was talking to my bosses before I came on the show here, and we were going to actually show you the picture of the victim from the Alvin Kamara incident. Bosses said, do not put the picture on the show. It's a little bit too graphic. So if you want to see a very graphic picture of exactly what happened over this past weekend, go ahead and check out Trace Gerard's Instagram. He is the producer of today's show and a diehard Saints fan. He also tries to keep you guys up to date on news and rumors circulating around New Orleans. Seriously, Joe, check him out. Trace Gerard in the comments and in the description. All right, let's talk about the latest here that's going on around AK-41. Personally, it was actually one of my favorite running backs before this whole incident happened. Kamara was arrested at the Pro Bowl and charged with battery resulted in bodily harm. The incident occurred morning before the game, so technically like Sunday morning near Saturday night. The alleged victim suffered a fractured orbital bone, which is basically the bone right next to your eye, and was knocked unconscious. Now, obviously, it's a very graphic thing of what happened. Kamara gave his side of the story, though now there is video evidence proving that the side of Kamara's story is found to be not as true as the story from the victim. So what I'm doing here on today's show is basically looking into a crystal ball and saying, all right, let's say he goes ahead and he gets suspended. What type of running backs could the Saints go out and sign? So type Y for yes, or you guys can go down in the comments section and type N for no. Will Alvin Kamara end up getting suspended? This is an honest truth. I understand that nobody wants him to get suspended. Why? Because when he's not on the field, it doesn't help New Orleans. But I want you to just honestly answer it as just a normal human being, not just as a Saints fan. The answer is yes, he should get suspended if he is found guilty. The way that the NFL does this is they base it on a lot of different types of rules, and I get it. Sometimes the suspensions that the NFL gives out are not fair, or I'm always sitting here wondering, how does this get suspended for this amount of games? How does this get suspended for this amount of games? When it comes down to stuff like this, the NFL is going to end up conducting their own investigation. Anytime I hear something like that, I'm like, all right, they're definitely taking this pretty seriously. Now, this is the first offense, and this will subject to the offender to a baseline suspension without pay of 6 games. So essentially, if Kamara on March 8th is found guilty of, we'll say, assault or every other charge that he could potentially face here, the NFL then will give him a 6-game suspension. So this idea is based on the video here is based on the idea that Kamara does end up getting suspended for 6 games. Because honestly, it wouldn't surprise me. If the news does come out that he's suspended, or if the news comes out that he's not, we're going to keep you guys up to date here on Saints Today. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you turn on those notifications. That way you don't miss a thing. Plus, in the offseason, this is like when the diehard fans are around. There's going to be a lot of rumors around Michael Thomas. There's going to be rumors around the quarterback position, defense, offense, free agency, the draft. We got you all covered here. So seriously, click that subscribe button, turn on those notifications. That way you don't miss a thing. So coming up now, I'm going to get into 5 running backs that I believe make the most sense for the New Orleans Saints to go out and sign in free agency. Because if you lose Kamara, you kind of get yourself into this sticky situation. Now, I understand that they went out and got Mark Ingram. He still has 1 year left on his contract. DeAndre Washington is a free agent. You also have Tony Jones Jr., no disrespect to him. I wouldn't be 100% confident in his ability. Technically, you have Ty Montgomery, who plays a running back wide receiver role. But what happens if you don't bring back those guys? And then you're without Alvin Kamara for 6 games. I mean, obviously, you're not going to be able to replace him. He's got 240 carries, 898 yards, 4 touchdowns, a Pro Bowl type of running back. Probably one of the most versatile backs in the entire National Football League. But you need to at least be able to go out and find somebody who can get by, or you can get by with in those first 6 games. I liked what I saw out of Mark Ingram when he came over to New Orleans, but I would be lying to y'all if I was like, yeah, if you could just rock and roll with Mark Ingram as your bell cow running back at this point of his career where he's like 33 years old, I think personally you'd be crazy. Now, in the 7 games that he played with the Saints, he had 68 carries, 260 rushing yards, 20 grabs for 138 receiving yards, and only 1 touchdown. So do you think the Saints should go out and sign a running back this offseason if Kamara is in fact suspended for those 6 games? Are you going to be sitting here being like, Mitch, they absolutely need to go out and sign a running back? Y for yes or N for no? Coming in here at number 5, I'm going to go with Jerick McKinnon. And what I tried to do here is find backs that maybe reminded me a little bit of Kamara or could be a good fit or just know the Saints offense. What I saw out of Jerick McKinnon this playoffs when he was with the Kansas City Chiefs, he is a very spark plug type of running back. I know he's had a lot of injuries, but I honestly think you can get a solid 6 games out of McKinnon. Let's go to a guy who's a little bit more of a bowling ball type of running back, Royce Freeman. If you decide to cut Mark Ingram and save, let's say, like $7 million or whatever he's owed, you could potentially rock and roll with Royce Freeman, who's never really gotten a fair shake at it. I mean, I liked him a lot when he first came out of Oregon, got drafted by the Denver Broncos, then the Broncos went out and got Melvin Gordon. Royce Freeman is a good running back, and I also want to stay, because this is very important, I want to go out and get good running backs at cheap value, which is why I say this. These are probably my top 5 free agent running backs: James Conner, Leonard Fournette, Melvin Gordon, Cordell Patterson, and then Chase Edmonds. I like all these backs more than basically any other back that you're going to see on today's show, but obviously with New Orleans' certain cap situation being ranked dead last in the NFL, it doesn't make sense to me to go out and spend top dollar on a free agent running back when you have Kamara coming back. So I know y'all probably love Leonard Fournette, the old LSU running back, but I wouldn't overspend on any of these 5 guys here. Super Bowl 56 is so close. Dude, I can't wait. I can already taste the buffalo wings. I can already taste the nacho dip. I can already taste the amount of cheeseburgers I'm going to stuff in my face. But I don't know about y'all. I love betting on the game. I did bet on the Bengals to win this one outright. If you want to go ahead and bet on who's going to win Super Bowl 56 MVP, you can actually go ahead and do so. Now, if you go to chatsports.com/bet, you got to use promo code CHAT125. That's going to get you the 125% deposit bonus. So I said I bet on the Bengals, which also meant I'm going to go ahead and double down on betting on Joe Burrow to win the Super Bowl MVP. As you can see, Matthew Stafford at plus 120. Cooper Kupp, very interesting odds here at plus 550. But you got to go to chatsports.com/bet. Promo code CHAT125. So after seeing these Super Bowl MVP odds, I have a question for all of y'all, and I'm kind of curious on how you go with this one. Who is going to win the MVP of this year's Super Bowl? Let me know down in the comments, and I always say, put your money where your mouth is. Where? Chatsports.com/bet. Promo code CHAT125. Let's go to the next running back here, and this is a dude who I really hope gets an opportunity at least somewhere. D'Ernest Johnson. He had 100 carries for 534 yards. Sure, it was behind arguably the best offensive line in the National Football League in Cleveland, but that dude is stuck behind Nick Chubb and stuck behind Kareem Hunt. I honestly believe if D'Ernest Johnson had the opportunity to be a 1B style of running back, which he would have the shot to do in New Orleans, it would be a really successful thing. And having D'Ernest Johnson and Alvin Kamara, you could have that 1-2 punch, which would take a lot of pressure off of whoever the quarterback's going to be for the Saints. Let's now go to the second running back here, or I guess I should say number 2 on my list. It's Devonta Freeman. The reason why I have Freeman number 2 on the list is because he has that familiarity, and if you only need somebody for 6 weeks, Freeman could come in, who honestly I thought looked pretty damn good this past season with the Baltimore Ravens. Now, sure, he was signed, I believe, in early August by the Saints, ended up getting released. I saw a lot of good tape. I saw a lot of good spark out of the running back who at one time I thought was one of the more dynamic running backs in the National Football League. Now, before I give you my number 1 running back that I think the Saints should go out and get if Alvin Kamara is suspended, here's my do not sign list. This should be like slap a Mr. Yuck sticker on this. If you don't know what Mr. Yuck is, maybe you're a little bit too young. But David Johnson, Sony Michel, Ronald Jones, Le'Veon Bell, Matt Breida, I wouldn't touch these running backs with a 10-foot pole. Now, the running back that I honestly would sit here and be like, all right, this one would make the most sense. Yeah, I'm going to go with L Train. I mean, I love Latavius Murray. Physical running back. Ended up getting released by the Saints earlier this season because they just didn't have the money to pay him. And I always say that at the running back position, I don't want to overpay. But Latavius is getting up there in age. The Ravens actually slowly moved away from him and went more to with Devonta Freeman. And I honestly think if you needed a guy for 6 games, you just freaking plow Latavius Murray into the ground, let him get worked, and then you bring in a fresh Alvin Kamara, yeah, good luck trying to stop that. So, Saints fans, if the Saints needed to sign a running back in free agency, who should it be? Let me know down in the comments section, because my top 5 backs that I think would make the most sense for New Orleans if Kamara was suspended for those 6 games is coming in here at number 1, Latavius Murray, Devonta Freeman number 2, D'Ernest Johnson 3, Royce Freeman at number 4, and then Jerick McKinnon at number 5. My favorite thing that we do with all of our Chat Sports videos is we go down to the comments, we see what you guys have to say, and I'm going to do the exact same thing here. So if there's a back that I forgot, if there's somebody else's name, you're like, man, I can't believe you didn't bring up this dude. If you want to target somebody in the draft, I'm okay with that as well. So who dat? Let me know down in the comments what you're thinking.